मेरे इस लेक्चर पे एक व्यूअर ने कमेंट किया था कि प्रमोद के नायर और पीटर बैरी पर कई बार पढ़ने के बाद भी उनको ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर नहीं हुए, पर इस लेक्चर ने कुछ विजुअल टूल्स के थ्रू काफ़ी सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स को क्लियर कर दिया। मैं इस लेक्चर को जो नए बैच के स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके लिए रिपीट कर रहा हूँ। ये लेक्चर आपके दिमाग में लिटरेरी थ्योरी के सबसे कॉम्प्लेक्स आइडियाज को इतनी सिंपली फिट कर देगा कि बाकी जो भी थ्योरीज आप फ्यूचर में पढ़ेंगे, डेरिडा हो, सस्योर हो, मिशेल फुको हो, कोई भी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड थ्योरिस्ट हो, वो इजीली आपके दिमाग में फिट बैठ जाएगा। अब यूजीसी नेट के जो बाकी एजुकेटर्स स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म, डेरिडा वगैरह की बातें करते हैं, मुझे ऑनेस्टली लगता है कि उनको खुद ये कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं आते। मैंने इतने ज्यादा घटिया एक्सप्लेनेशन सुने डिफरेंस और डिफरेंस के, मैंने इतने ज्यादा घटिया एक्सप्लेनेशन और एग्जांपल्स देखे डेरिडा को पढ़ाने के, मैंने इतने बेहुदे एग्जांपल्स लोगों को स्ट्रक्चरलिज्म पढ़ाते हुए देखा है कि उनके स्टूडेंट्स को एक पल के लिए चाहे समझ में आ जाए कि शब्द कौन सा इस्तेमाल होता है, उनको कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होना इम्पॉसिबल है क्योंकि टीचर कोई नहीं आता। अगर आप इस वीडियो को देखेंगे तो आपकी लिटरेरी थ्योरी जर्नी काफ़ी ज़्यादा आसान हो जाएगी और आपकी कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी ज़्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स और हर एक टीचर जो यूजीसी नेट के लिए पढ़ाता है उससे बेटर हो जाएगी। तो इस लेक्चर को पूरा देखें। हालांकि इंग्लिश में है, डोंट वरी, टर्म्स आसान यूज़ की गई हैं, काफ़ी सिंपल लेक्चर है और सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर होंगे अच्छे एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ। वो एग्जाम्पल जो एक्चुअली फिट बैठते हैं, रैंडम किसी मूवी का एग्जाम्पल नहीं है, एक्चुअली एग्जाम्पल जो फिट बैठते हैं। तो आई होप यू वॉच दिस होल वीडियो। आई होप 18 मिनट आप देने को तैयार हैं अपने लिटरेरी थ्योरी की ज्ञान को, एंड आई सी यू गाइस एट द एंड ऑफ द लेक्चर। Welcome back, everyone. In this lecture, we'll talk about the movement from humanism to structuralism to post structuralism as it pertains to interpretation of cultural phenomena. This lecture does not include names of theorists, their concepts, your top 10 ideas to study to get 10 marks. That's not the kind of lecture it is. So if you're expecting that, please do not watch this. What we are going to learn here are the essential methodologies, essential assumptions, and the essential look of these interpretive models. Right? The first one is humanism. Let me describe to you a little bit what humanism is. Humanism puts humans at the center of the intellectual exploration. That's going to be a very simple definition. That's what the classical antiquity was. That's what Renaissance humanism was. Except in the Renaissance humanism, there is a slight difference that man is at the man by man I mean human is at the center of the world, and at the center of man is God. That is a special kind of humanism. What we call individualism, which comes from Protestantism, is going to be a humanism which we have right now. Structuralism looked at cultural phenomena not individually, but to identify the larger structure through which they mean, right? So a structuralist would not look at the novel to learn the morals about humankind, but a structuralist will look at a novel to try to understand how does that novel attain its meaning. This is something that Barth works on. This is something a lot of narratologists work on. Post-structuralism looks at the method of structuralism and it says that the essential truth that structuralism has figured out is not uh, so essential, that it is also arbitrary. It says there is no structure. When we identify a structure in a novel, that is how the novel means. This is the structure which allows meaning. If you don't understand this, the example will make sense. That's why you have two pictures in front of you. Pro-structuralism will say that even that structure is kind of a random thing. Right? It's also not something very important. Anyway, there is this and then there is this. Right? These are two pictures that are generated using ChatGPT. Right? So, first picture has a photograph of friends hanging out. They're just chilling, having fun, and it is partly covered by a photograph of a phone with WhatsApp on it. Right? You understand this picture? Second picture is that of a board game which is partly covered by a video game remote on top of it, right? A console remote on top of it. So what do these pictures mean individually? Let's look. What does this picture mean? What is this picture trying to teach you or tell you? What is the moral of this picture? When one moral, well, first of all, pause if you cannot think of anything and you want some time. And now I'm going to tell you what I think it could mean, right? Of course, there are no definite meanings. Everyone can have different interpretation. That's the whole point, right? One meaning is that this phone with WhatsApp on it is put on this photograph, and that implies that in the modern world, genuine human connection is replaced by cold devices and cold social media, right? So there are no humans, people are not hanging out as much because they can just talk to each other on WhatsApp, so they hang out less. So if you did not talk to your friends every day on WhatsApp, telling them all the latest tea that you have to share, if you could not meet, if you could not text them, maybe you'd meet them more often. That's what this image could mean, that this genuine human connection is replaced by messaging apps. Now this one is easier to interpret. I think one interpretation could be that a community based game where you sit down with your friends and family, to play a game where you are all in the same space, you're sitting together, maybe you're having some drinks and some snacks and just having a amazing time with your buddies, is replaced by video games for which you don't need anyone to play with. Right, back then there weren't many games you could play by yourself. Right, if you want to, let's say you want to play gudiya gudiya, you need one more person to play gudiya gudiya with you, or maybe you need one more doll. Right, if you wanted to play, let's say, gilli danda, or if you wanted to play cricket, if you wanted to play, I don't know, ludo, as you can see here, you needed somebody to play it with. But now you could play ludo without anyone. You could play ludo very in a very lonely way, right? You can play video games in a very lonely way. Even if there is voice chat, it's not the same. Even if it's a multiplayer game, it's not the same. So the humanist interpretation is going to be social media. This example I've removed. Wait 1 second. The humanist interpretation is going to be that social media is replacing genuine human connection, and video games are replacing the social games. It's not social games, but games which are social. You get it, right? So what is the essential moral is that we should go for human connection, not for cold devices. That is what these two pictures mean. Now if you notice this, we looked at these pictures to get a moral message which is kind of commonsensical, right? It's a common sense meaning. That's not to say humanism is common sense, but that is to say humanism is very often ordinary when done by ordinary people like me. There are some very beautiful humanist analysis, some very beautiful humanist works, but usually humanist is kind of banal, right? And structuralism is kind of dull. I'll show you what structuralism is. Now, a structuralist analysis, first of all, try it yourself. Look, can you identify a structure? Right, pause, and then I'll tell you the structure that I intended. Right, so the structure here, now the structuralist methodology does not look at individual images. It will only look at what do these in how sorry do these individual images attain meaning. Right, I'm not going to look at the images, I'm going to look at how do these images attain meaning. So how did I know, or how did I interpret this picture in a way to say that human connection is being replaced by cold technology? How did I come to this conclusion? Well, I came to this conclusion because I can see that the photograph is at the bottom and it's partly covered by a phone with WhatsApp on it, right? Similarly, I see a board game at the bottom which is partly covered by a video game remote on it. So structuralist doesn't care about what the message of this picture is or what the message of this picture is. It just wants to understand how does that message get conveyed. And it will say, you know what? So the general structure here is if A, which is here the phone and here the video game remote, if A is on top of B, B is the photograph, and here the B is the board game, right? So if A is on top of B and here A is on top of B, if A is on top of B, it implies that B is being replaced by A, right? So a general structuralist statement would be if A is on top of B, this implies that B, which is more human, is being replaced. That's how I type, that's how I roll, guys. Is being replaced by A, which is cold tech. Right? So what the structuralists did was they did not figure out any meaning in this. They did not figure out, okay, you need to be available for your friends. You need to be there. You should stop using social media. You should stop playing games. Structuralism does not care about any of that, right? It only cares about how is that meaning conveyed. It is conveyed by putting one thing on top of the other. Now, if there was a picture where there was a photograph, and on the side of the photograph, beside the photograph, there was the phone on the WhatsApp with WhatsApp in it. So they are not on top of one another, but they're side by side. Will we have the same interpretation? Right? If video game remote and the board game were side by side instead of the video game remote being on top of the board game, will we have the same interpretation? And I believe we would not, because this structure is missing. This structure is what gives it meaning. Right? So that is the structuralist analysis. Meaning comes from structure. A upon B means A is replacing B. Now, note one more thing. A upon B, which is A on top of B, also is another way to say this is the way these two things relate to each other. A relates to B in the way that A is on top of B. The relationship between two elements determines the meaning, not the elements themselves. So if the relationship changes, meaning changes. If they are side by side, meaning changes. If photo is on top of the phone, meaning changes. Right? This photograph is top of the phone, meaning changes. So it's the relation which allows the meaning. It is not the inherent meaning of WhatsApp and photograph. Right? That is structuralism. Structuralism will say meaning arises from a system or a structure. It's a sixth system of differences that we have a video on all structuralism video that nobody watched. I think nobody will watch this video either, but regardless. So structuralism will try to identify these structure, and that's what the structuralist methodology is. And that's why I said it is dull. It is interesting that, okay, this is interesting. And now I know that this is how this works. But did I have fun doing this? I did not. Did you have fun? Maybe you learned something, but did you have fun? Humanism can be banal, structuralism can be dull, and post-structuralism can be complicated. So you are between a kai and a rock and a hard place. Now, what would be the post-structuralist interpretation? That based on what you know so far, I'm going to pause the video. Sorry, no, you are going to pause the video and think, and then I'll tell you what I intended. Yeah, so what I intended, again, I say I intended because if I say this is what it means, then I am going against the ideas of post-structuralism, that it doesn't mean anything. Anything for sure. It doesn't mean anything for sure. Right? Or rather, it doesn't mean one thing. Meaning is too much. There's too much meaning. Well, post-structuralism said this. Now, this is something Derrida does in his Structure, Sign and Play. He says that if you look at the humanist interpretation, now I'm going to simplify this too much. So please try to understand. This is very simplified, but you will understand the ideas. If you look at this picture, it is saying the one that is at the bottom is better than one at the top. Here to the one that is at the bottom, the social game that are social, is better than one that is at the top. But what is the difference between these two? Well, the things that are at the bottom at the top. Well, the difference is that one at the bottom requires everyone to be present. Your friends have to be there for that photo. Your friends have to be there to play Ludo on a board. And WhatsApp and video games represent absence. You have to be your friends. If your friends are not there, you have to use a cold device, right? So what's essentially happening here is these people are saying, humanists are saying, presence, I'm sorry for the notification sound, presence is better than absence, right? This taken to an extreme, it's a very complicated thing. We'll talk about it in our Derrida lectures. This he calls the metaphysics of presence. Metaphysics of presence, which is another way of saying that the Western philosophy or the humanist ways of looking at the world, uh, humanist ways of looking at the world prefer presence over absence, presence of human over absence of humans, presence of humans over absence of humans. In philosophy, this looks like presence of person when they are speaking slash absence of person when they are not there, right? So that is writing. Regardless, now it will say ki now this binary is common. Excuse me, just give me 1 second. Sorry for the disturbance. uh, you said this binary is arbitrary, right? We don't. Now this arbitrariness of the binary can be a bit complicated to understand. Let me give you again a simpler example, which is basically, okay, so what if your friends are not here? What if your friends, let's say, live a city away, right? Some of my friends live in Bangalore and I'm in Delhi. Some of my friends, one of my closest friend lives in Mumbai and I'm in Delhi. How will I talk to him, right? That's the problem. Now photograph is there, right? But it's the WhatsApp through which I can talk to him. At the same time, if you think about it, photograph, when I click the photograph, it reminds me of their absence. Oh, he's not here, I have my friend's picture, my buddy's picture. But the call technology WhatsApp helps me talk to him. So which one is presence and which one is absence? Is the photo presence or is the WhatsApp presence? That this demystifies the boundary. It creates an in-between thing. There is an in-between presence and absence, which is both photograph and WhatsApp. We can't decide. It's the undecidable, Derrida calls it. Right? So this undecidable in between breaks the binary. Now you tell me, what does this picture mean? It could mean that WhatsApp is cold technology is replacing human connection, but certainly it could also mean that the human presence, which is not there, can be placated, can be solved by good technology, which can make my friend be present to me again because I can just text him. So it means both the things. It means that technology is replacing real connection, and second, it is somehow supplementing real connection. It's making it more. So what is true, right? And that is the whole point of post-structuralism. You do not know what is true. Interpretation is endless. A slash B, it will respond to structuralism by simply saying that structuralist said that this presence slash absence binary that humanism has. This is very unscientific. That we are more scientific. This is what truth is. Now to that, the post-structuralist response is where you are not scientific. You have replaced this presence slash absence binary with A slash B binary. You have just changed the center. You have not destroyed the center. This would be the center, right? So both of these photos can be interpreted by this simple center. Now structuralists did not have this center. They said we have something more scientific, right? This applies to everything, even if there is no humans, no photos involved. But you have just replaced the center by this. What if I say that this can mean the other way around as well? That a real human connection, real humans are replaced by technology. So technology is being replaced by real humans or whatever, right? All sorts of this binary could be inverted essentially. That's what we inverted here, right? We said ki photograph could be absence, WhatsApp could be presence. This is what post-structuralism shows. It shows that humanist values and structuralist interpretations are arbitrary. They are conventional. They are not objective. They are not inherent to the world. That I'm sorry for the call again, but this is going to be that the binary is arbitrary. This is for the next lecture. I hope you understood how these ways of looking at the world relate to each other. It is going to be very, very, if you do not understand this, you will not understand any of literary theory. If you watch this lecture to the end, you're ahead of almost all other candidates, and to be honest, most UGC and English teachers. Now, if you want more lectures like these, if you want to actually understand what deconstruction is, if you want to actually understand the thought of Jacques Lacan, all of these complicated thinkers and philosophers, structuralist, post-structuralist, if you actually want to understand who they are, what their thought is, how is it related to literature, then you can get a JRF Scholar Course, where Dhananjay and I will stand next to your shoulders and guide you. You can also get a recorded lectures program if you want just the access to our recorded lectures. Thank you for watching, and now you understand what post-structuralism, structuralism, and humanism really are. I'll see you guys in the next one.